Around the Ozarks is now on your FM radio. Listen to Around the Ozarks mornings with Grace Gooley as I spotlight local people, stories, and podcasts, all while playing the country legends of the 90s and the hit makers of the 2000s. It's on the Ozarks' best country, 105.1 The Bull.
Hi, this is Joy Robertson. As many of you know, I love food. I love finding new restaurants. I love trying new dishes. And most of all, I love talking to the many great restaurateurs and entrepreneurs we have here in the Ozarks and beyond. I love hearing their stories, and that's what this podcast is all about, learning more about them and their journey. So join me as we savor the Ozarks. This episode is brought to you by Jim's Steakhouse and Pub, Kitchenland USA, and Springfield's locally owned Fazoli's. Okay, this is a big day for Savor the Ozarks. This is episode number 100. 100. I'm so excited about that, and I'm really excited about my guest today. This is someone I've known for a lot of years. It's someone you know, and every time I see him, I am really tempted to yell, Nicola. I bet no one but me has ever done that, right? Nicola Gilardi.
First time I heard that. First time I ever heard the Nicola. No, story of my life. Believe me.
It's like people singing Joy to the World to me, either the Three Dog Night or the Christmas song, one or both, depending on time of year. Nicola Gilardi, you are an experience. I don't know how else to say it. You have been in this town a long time, and I want to know where you came from, how you got here, and I hope you tell me you're never leaving, because you have made this community very happy over the years, and you've built a beautiful family and beautiful businesses, and we've got a lot of ground to cover. So, first of all, where are you from in Italy? Where did you grow up?
So I'm from a very small town in the very north of Italy, near the Alps, just north of Lake Como. And it's right 20 minutes from Switzerland. Actually, maybe even a little bit less. So I'm right on the border of Switzerland.
Isn't that a beautiful part of the world?
It's beautiful, but everywhere is beautiful. A lot of people ask me, it's like, why did you leave Italy? And when I left Italy, I was young. I didn't have an agenda. You know what I mean? I went to chef school in Italy, but also grew up on a restaurant family. My parents had a restaurant in Italy.
Okay, I read that in one of your in a write-up on one of your websites that you did grow up in a family that owned a restaurant, and that must be how you sort of got bit by the bug, as we would say.
Well, yes. I mean, I had a different brother. I have 4 brothers and 4 sisters. So all my brothers, they do something different. One owns a construction company, the other one he does granite, the other one he does is a master, whatever it is. But one of my brothers was also a chef, And so, and I remember when I was a kid, my mother always told me, do you want to work in a restaurant where it's always warm and, there is always food, there is always an opportunity to find a job, or you want to work in a construction company where in the winter you're freezing and in the summer it's too hot. And I was like, plus growing up in a restaurant family, you really see the people, the interaction with the customer. It's like a big family, you know what I mean? And that's just one thing that I notice here, but we will touch that later.
Okay. All right. Well, you grew up in Italy. You did go to culinary school. And then at some point you did leave Italy. And if I'm not mistaken, I think now you left. You worked around the world before you came to the States, correct? Where all did you spend time working?
Well, I worked in Switzerland, I worked in Germany, different island of Italy, different places like Aspen for a year, but it's in Italy. Where people go to ski in the winter, or they go in the beach in the summer. So I work in both places. And then after Germany, I went to Switzerland, and I had a phone call, asked me if I wanted to work in the Caribbean, to work for Krizia. Krizia, she's a clothing designer. but she also had this amazing place across from Antigua. And so I went there. I worked there for practically the winter season, and in the Caribbean is summer season. You know what I mean? And after that, I went to New York, and I made a phone call in Milan, and they got me to talk to this guy, and he's like, "Yeah, we're needing somebody." So I went there. I met with them. Then we went to Italy, and we went to the American embassy to get a work permit. And there was this guy. Then it was the last day as a what do you call the ambasciatore, the embassy was the American embassy there, and it was his last day, and he's like, you know what? Why do you want to go to America? And I told him, I said, you know what? I just want to go there and work and see the country, and And he's like, you know what? Today's your lucky day. It's my last day, and I'm going to give you a 5-year work permit. I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. So he gave me 5 years, and then I went to work in New York. Then after New York, I went to work in Chicago. And then I came here with a very good friend of mine back then. And his father-in-law, we opened up a Teatro in Chesterfield Village.
Okay, a lot of people will remember Teatro in Chesterfield Village for sure. And a lot of people, probably enough years have passed that they forget that you were associated with that restaurant.
Yeah, I did open Teatro, and still up to me, Teatro still now was one of the most beautiful restaurants in Springfield. It maybe was a little bit too early for its time, also because people were not really used to driving that much. Springfield was still a smaller but bigger community. Everybody was around, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But now, 27 years later, almost 30 years later, it's amazing how Springfield is grown, even on the restaurant industry. I mean, there is a lot of good restaurant, very successful restaurant, a lot of very good chef, and...
Well, there's a lot of really good food here. Like you said, a lot of good chefs. And people don't mind getting in the car and driving 30 minutes if they need to go eat where they want to eat. Because I think our culinary, I start to say skills, our culinary tastes have evolved. I think you would agree.
Absolutely. I mean, there is a lot of food in Springfield. And very good customer. I've been here, I've been in Springfield since I think 1994, 95, something like this. But it's such a great town, great people. And after I opened Teatro, then I met now my wife, Monica. And after I left Teatro, I was ready to move back to New York. I left for some reason when I left Teatro. And me and Monica, we would have to commute, but I knew me, New York, and over here, it would be a kind of a tough situation.
So you did go to New York, or you were just thinking of going back to New York?
No, I was just thinking. Okay. And then we were driving on Walnut Street, and there was a for lease in a restaurant. And funny part, that was the carriage house from Jim Mace. And Jim Mace and Teresa Mace, I called and I said, I see there is a for lease sign. And Jim Mace answered the phone. He's like, are you Nicola Gilardi? And I'm like, how do you know me? And he's like, everybody knows you because of the restaurant. Because back at Teatro, Noble and Associate, they was big on advertising, so they would have me and my other partner been on the radio all the time and TV or whatever. So, people got to know me.
So people knew you. And you mentioned Bob Noble, who had Noble Associates. I worked for Bob. I worked when he had Food Channel. And I think everybody in the 417 has worked for Bob at some point. He's given a lot of people a lot of good opportunities. But yes, so he understands advertising, obviously. So you say you were on the radio a lot. People knew your voice.
Yeah, and so I say, we're very interested in seeing the place. He's like, absolutely. So we went in, and the place was beautiful. The deal was too good to pass, and so instead go to New York. Then we got married. Me and my wife got married, and then we also opened the restaurant. And I mean, we were busy from day one. I really got blessed. The Springfield community took care of me since day one until now, until today. That's one thing that I was saying. Well, let me finish. Then I opened Gilardi's, and then several years later, there was Jay Parino with Toscan Grill here, and I heard that he was interested in selling. So I met with him, and I said, listen, I don't want to be rude. I don't want to, if he's not the right time, but I heard that you might be interested in selling. And he said, yes, I am. So we talked about it, and I bought Toscan Grill, and I made a Nicola's restaurant. And we were there for about 16 years or something like this. And then just about 3 months ago, well, this has been going on for about a year. Then I've been considering kind of slow down a little bit, because after Nicola's, we opened also Maso Pizza Bar. And Maso Pizza Bar is just up the sidewalk from Nicola's. And I got at the point that I was getting tired working all the time. And to be honest with you, one thing that really made me sell the restaurant, Nicola's, it was seeing all these great customers. Then I knew them practically 30 years ago, when they was on their 40, 50, and they all got to be 70, 80. A lot of them passed away. And I was like, and believe it or not, it was very, very hard, because they really become family. One day, 2 days, 1 month, 1 year, but eventually you see these people all the time. You get to sit down with them, have a drink, eat with them, and talk. It really is very hard every time you lose one of them.
I can only imagine, because it feels like in the restaurants that you have owned and operated, it feels like it's almost like coming to your house, and you're usually around, and you're always greeting people, and there's always, with the advent of social media, anybody who has a birthday, I mean, there are birthday photos one after the other, and it feels like a family. But, life ticks on quickly. And it sounds like that's kind of what made you start thinking, there are things I might want to do with my time that are a little bit different.
Yeah, is when reality kicks in, and you start to see these little kids, the ones that used to come in, and I used to take them in the kitchen for ice cream, and now they're here 22 years later, and it's like, hi, my name is whatever, and I'm looking for a serving position or kitchen position, and I'm like, wait, your name sounds familiar. Yes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you were 1 year old, so you realize how fast time goes, And now, then I sold Nicola's too. About 3 months ago, like I told you, I decided to slow down a little bit, and it's been a blessing. I'm a little bit more relaxed, and also you start to get a little bit of pain here and pain there, and your back and your knee, and you're like, it's time to slow down. You know what I mean? So I'm going to take Maso and go with that, and try to make a good living with this place. And I'm very lucky, because I always had good luck with the employee too. Even here with my kitchen staff, they're all. I have employed them with me for 28 years. At Nicola, I had employed for 10 years plus. Here I had a few that they've been here. One is 28, and the other one I think is like 10 or 11. So I'm really lucky.
Well, and real quick, by the way, just to back up for 1 second, you say something about aches and pains. No joke, I literally just came from physical therapy. I got a right shoulder replacement a little over a year ago, and I'm trying to keep having the left one done. And so I can relate to what you're saying. I'm trying to not have that done on my left side. But you mentioned your employees. There's a young man working for you now that's a grandson of a really good friend of mine, Branch.
Oh, yeah.
Branch Epperson. And I'm just a shout out to Branch and all the people like him because, and to you who give these young people opportunities and then show them the ropes and give them some life skills and teach them how to walk over to the table and interact with those customers. You know, you've done really well with a lot of employees over the years. And they mean a lot to you, don't they?
When you're responsible for feeding a group, you want it to be simple. And, of course, you want everyone to love it. Zoli's Catering makes it easy with baked pastas, pizza, fresh salad, and our famous signature garlic breadsticks. It's a great fit for any size office lunch, meeting, family gathering, team meal, or any occasion. Find the menu and order online at fazoli's.com.
Fast, fresh, Italian, Fazoli's.
Have you heard the news? Kitchenland USA in Nixa has expanded with a new 2,000 square foot addition. Now they're fully dedicated to your kitchen and bath projects from start to finish, and it's all under one roof. Stop by the new showroom to see and touch the newest sinks, tubs, walk-in showers, faucets, lighting displays, tile, and flooring, all in one showroom.
Kitchenland USA, newly expanded kitchen and bath showroom in Nixa, where your vision is our mission.
Some people check the weather, others check our soup of the day. Hi, this is Jim with Jim's Steakhouse and Pub. Our soup of the day changes, but the comfort never does. Just check with your server, because nothing takes the edge off a cold day like whatever's simmering at Jim's.
When you walk through those legendary doors, you're gonna find there's so much to love. So do yourself a favor, dig that service and flavor. Jim's Steakhouse and Pub.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, without employee, there is no business. Doesn't matter what business if you don't have employee, unless you have a business of one person is you. But when you have a business, your employees, they are part of your success, you know. And talking about Branch is funny because I told Branch, when Branch came in, he pretty much never worked in a kitchen, and now he's one of my main pizza guy. You know, that was only like 4 months ago or whatever it is. And he's been here, but he's really a good kid. But I told him about 3 months ago, I got a phone call from OTC, and they wanted to bring the culinary class here. And I said, absolutely. So we sat down outside here at Maso, and they asked me, you know, a bunch of questions. But the most important tip that I give them, if they listen, it was in the restaurant. First of all, this country is still the opportunity. So this is still the land of opportunity. If you really want to open your own business, if you want to do something with your life, you still have the opportunity here. And I was telling this guy here, there was maybe like 25 OTC culinary kids. And I told him, I said, in the restaurant, there is always a place that you can have a job. If you good, you honest, we always look for great chef. We always look for manager, waiters, bartender, you name it. And they go think about it, then the sky's the limit. If you are good and you really want to be in this business, today you're a dishwasher, next week you're an executive chef. You know, in a month, you can own your own restaurant. You will always be able to find investor or money or partners. There is not too many business like the culinary industry that can offer that, you know.
Right. Our youngest daughter graduated out of the culinary program at OTC. And I've spent a lot of years paying attention to food. I'm a foodie. And I always say I'm not a cooker, I'm an eater. I'm a really good eater. And I can cook, but I cannot do what you do. You know, I am in awe of people who do what you do. But yes, I don't know what the statistics are. I don't remember, but most people in this world have worked in hospitality in one form or another, particularly as a first job. And if one needs a job at some point, typically you can find one in this business.
Yeah, I don't know the statistics, but I guarantee you that at least 70 or 80% of human work in developed country I'm talking about. But yes, I think that the majority of the people work in a restaurant as either hostess or busboys or dishwasher or whatever is the beginning of a job. So many people.
So many.
It'd be interesting to actually find out a statistic if it exists. You know?
Oh, it does. The National Restaurant Association has all sorts of numbers on that, and I just don't remember, but it's a lot. But how many people do you suppose you've employed over the years? Do you even have any fathomable idea of how many?
I mean, my gosh, I don't wanna say maybe 1,000, maybe 1,000, maybe 1,500. I don't know, but that's the majority. They didn't leave because I had very good longevity with employee. You know, I do not fire. You know, I think in 30 years I maybe fire maybe 3 or 4 people, and it was probably for stealing, not from nothing else. We always give the opportunity. It doesn't matter how bad somebody is. Nobody grows with the job in his hand, you know. So everybody is smart enough to learn, and that's always been my philosophy. You know, if you wanna learn, it might take you a week, it might take you a month, but because you're not that good, it's not the reason to fire you. You know, if you're not that good, and I cannot teach you, that means I'm failing you. You know what I mean? So everybody is smart enough to do anything. You know, I always tell everybody, say, you know what? Nobody's smarter than you. If you want to achieve anything, we're all made the same. You just have to practice and practice. Even a professional tennis player, yes, you might be made maybe as good to do that, but if you practice and practice and practice, you can be a good tennis player.
You know, it's funny you say that because there's a celebrity chef, Carla Hall. You may know who she is. She was, I listened to her give a talk once, and she said something about how, as a restaurant owner, she recognized in an employee, and good restaurant owners do. You know, she had a guy over here at like a breakfast brunch place or something, making coffee drinks. And he was a little bit, he just didn't feel like it was his jam, and I think he was about to go. And she said, you know what, I think you'd be really good at the biscuits. And he was like, ma'am, I don't know that I can bake. Those are tough. She goes, no, you know what, I think you. And she said he became the very best go-to biscuit guy that she ever had. And I think you probably see that in some of your people. You say, you know what, let's put you behind the bar, or let's put you out on the floor and just see what happens, or put you in the kitchen, see how you do with that homemade pizza dough.
Yeah, I think, they really appreciate encouragement. You know, like if you go there, you say, yeah, you did a great job. That is like as a boost, you know. Always tell them, say, and be honest. I mean, if they messed up, always tell them, hey, listen, this is not personal, but you cannot do this. So you kind of have to study each person too. Somebody's more sensitive, somebody's not. Somebody wants to learn, somebody's not good to learn that. Like you say, figure out where they can be good at. If they're not good at salad, they might be good at rolling pizza, or vice versa, you know. So, I really like to see people more and more learning skills, you know, because I think we are kind of a society right now that college it took over, and then we got all these kids that went to study college, and then they come out, they don't know what to do, you know. That's why I really like OTC, because it really teaches a skill. And I was talking a few years ago with Jack Stack from SRC, and he was like, we cannot find welders, you know. I was like, yeah, because people don't understand that a welder can make like $75 an hour. I mean, so think about it. Or a good construction guy, a good bricklayer, or a plumber. So I think eventually we need more people to understand that those jobs that they think they're just a job, those are actually the best job, and they offer opportunity to open their own business too.
Absolutely, they do. Absolutely, they do. Which of your restaurants? And I know this is like saying which is your kid, which favorite kid. You know what I mean? Which of these restaurants has been the most fun for you? Would you say Gilardi's, Nicola's, Maso, Teatro? Which one was really the most fun? Like, which one is there one that really spurred your creativity in one way or the other, or not?
Well, when I opened Teatro, of course, it was fun. It was the first restaurant in Springfield. First, perhaps, good. I don't want to say good because they're all good, but the first maybe more authentic Italian restaurant when we came down from Chicago. And it was very nice to meet new people. It was completely a different environment, you know. In Chicago, New York, you know people in the restaurant, but they're more superficial, come and go. But in Springfield, there was more, like I said earlier, there was more personal. They became more like family to you. They connected more as more like human versus like customers. You know what I mean? So Teatro was fun. Then of course, Gilardi was amazing because that was practically my first own business with just me and my wife. So that was amazing. Then Nicola, it was a different story. Nicola, what I liked about Nicola, it was the east side, the bar atmosphere. I even put the disco light on it. So at night we used to turn it on kind of like on a discotheque, you know. That was an amazing experience. I met a lot of good people. And then of course, Maso Pizza Bar was for a long time was kind of like you know, the extra business that I opened. Was never here, you know. I didn't really open it because I wanted to open another restaurant. I just opened it for some other reason, then I don't want to really talk about it. But anyway, so when I opened Maso, it was more like open a place up the street. But in the last 6 months, when I started to decide to sell Nicola's, I started to spend more and more time here, and it's more relaxed. I don't have to be in the kitchen 24/7, so physically, I feel already much better. The customer is funny because they go back and forth from Nicola in here, and you know. But pretty much all the customers from Maso, Nicola, Metro, Avanzare, the Gilili's restaurant, or whatever it is all those maybe like few thousand people that they go around all our restaurant, you know. So we all know each other, and you know, it's a good gig. Springfield is great.
It is a great place. I mean, it sounds like everyone that you've ever owned and operated has had its own personality. But you know what I love about this place? It is very relaxed, very approachable, and you come in and it's just a warm environment. But man, you have adapted to this whole Midwest vibe. You are one heck of a Chiefs fan. And I love that about you. I've seen you at games. I know you're a fan, but this is just that kind of place where you can come and really relate to people around you. Wouldn't you say? I mean, it's a fun place to be.
Yeah, it's very fun, and right now we're starting to also promote a little bit the Springfield football bear. You know, the bear team in Springfield from MSU. I think it need to be bigger in Springfield. It's such a great team. It's such a great sport. And so as you see around, I have a lot of Springfield Bear sign and little bit of stuff.
Absolutely. You got the MSU Bear back there, and it's a great spot. And I mean, for one thing, a good Italian pizza, in my opinion, is still fine dining.
Oh, absolutely. And we do not only have pizza, we have baked pasta, we have cannelloni, we have, some fried ravioli, wings, and grilled salmon. And so the menu is like an Italian pizzeria. Let's put it that way.
Very much so. And, there is one thing. I made a few notes, and I haven't looked at them at all. I noticed you had on one of your menus, and I believe it was the menu here, Nona Grace's pot pie. I have not had that, Nicola. Who's Nona Grace?
So Nonna Grace is actually Monica's grandmother.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, lovely lady. Thanks to God, I got a pleasure to meet her. She passed away maybe like 8 years ago. But anyway, so she made chicken pot pie. And Monica was like, you know what? I want to make chicken pot pie for Maso. Because she made it for some of our friends. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. You should serve it at the restaurant. But of course, I didn't want to serve it at Nicola. It's not really for an Italian fine dining, but for Maso was perfect. And we have people sometimes they drive from near Joplin. They come in and eat 2 chicken pot pie and then they drive back.
All right, well, that seals the deal. I'm coming in for a chicken pie. Talk about comfort food at its finest. To what degree do your customers help influence your menu a little bit, or your specials maybe?
Well, I always talk to my customer. I always ask him, how was this, how was that? And every once in a while, somebody comes on and say, hey, you should do this and this and that. And I'm like, you know what, that's not a bad idea. So then I try, and if it sells good, if it doesn't sell, I don't do it anymore. But when they come in, if I got all the ingredients, I still make it just for them, you know what I mean?
Oh, good to know. Good to know. So you can always ask. Say, hey, do you have this tonight, or can you make it this way for me? What is your favorite food? What is your go-to? If you could have anything on the menu or cook something for yourself, what would you cook?
Well, if I have to cook something for myself, it is a different story. But if you tell me what's my favorite food, I really like Thai food. Oh. The flavors. I like Thai food. I like Chinese food. I like Indian food. Everything that I don't make, I like it. And I really have to say, when you go to a very good Chinese restaurant or a good Thai food restaurant, and you order the right thing, those flavors, they're just. Don't get me wrong. Italian food is great. Is the most sold food in the world. There is I heard there is not a place in the world that there is not an Italian restaurant. But there is no Mexican everywhere. There is not sushi. There is not Thai food. But Italian food is everywhere in the world. There is a reason. Comfort. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Comfort food. But when I eat a nice Thai food or Chinese or Indian food, I just love it.
I do too. I'm a real sucker for Indian food. Really love that. I like bold flavor, and it sounds like you do too. How often do you get back to Italy?
Well, I used to go back more, and then after my mom passed away, I started to go less and less. But now with Nicola sold, I wanna start to go more often. Yeah. My brother are getting older, my sister are getting older, and so I need to start to travel more.
And you said you had 4 brothers and 4 sisters? There were 9 of you?
Yeah, they're all older. I'm the younger one.
Oh, you're the baby. You're the troublemaker. Okay. Now I get it. I see your son Nick in here all the time. Is he going to be the heir apparent to all of this that you started?
I don't know. His passion is actually car. Mm-hmm. He's in the car business. But he also works here now. He does my advertising. He does He writes all the paycheck. He does a lot of the paperwork. So I want him to get involved, but at the same time, I don't want him to do not do what he loves. You know, the last thing that you want to do is just tell your kids, "Oh, you need to be on my business." No, if he's interested and he decides to do it, then because eventually I would like to open maybe another Maso, maybe two. I'm ready to open up an event space right here next door.
Oh, really? Is that a done deal? That's something you're going to do?
Yes, it's going to be practically just a room where people can have events. Okay. They will have to pre-order. If they say we got 30 people, then I will design a menu and base. But they cannot just walk in because this kitchen is too small. It cannot handle just 30 people walk in, unless it's on a slow night, absolutely. But maybe they can do fundraiser. My gosh, this town is perhaps one of the biggest town with fundraiser. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of really good people, and me and all these restaurants in Springfield, locally owned, we really do a lot for this town, and I have to praise all the restaurants because every time, even if I call any of the other restaurants and ask for, hey, there is this fundraiser, blah 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 blah, they're always on it. So Springfield is lucky to have very good restaurant owner, independent restaurant owner that they're always there for helping any organization.
For sure. And we have a lot of very generous people here who do roll out and help organizations. And that's one of the things that makes this place absolutely so special, in my opinion. And you have been here a lot of years. Do you see yourself ever leaving Springfield? Please say no.
Well, I mean, I don't think I will ever leave Springfield. I would like eventually to be able to do few months here and few months there, of course, maybe even do like 3 months in Italy and 3 months somewhere else and then 6 months here. But that's just down the line. But, in the end of the story, I have a lot of people ask me, like, how did you leave Italy? So beautiful. And I don't want to sound like a sucker now, but I really believe that what makes the place you live beautiful is who you surround yourself with. Is if you have a good friend, if you have a good wife, if you have a good community, that's what makes the place beautiful. You can be. Is a little example. If you have a boat at the lake, but you don't have any friends, it's worthless. If you don't have a boat, but if you have a lot of friends, you can rent a boat and have a good time. Sometimes I'm around with my boat, and I see people all the time just by themselves on a boat, and I'm like, he might like it, I wouldn't. So the same thing is with the community. This community is an amazing community. And like I was saying before, there is people here that they really donate a lot of money. People, they don't have to if they don't want to. But there's a lot of generous people. And, and I'm on this beautiful city. There is no reason to leave, This is my home now,
I love that. And you can always travel and go see and spend time. I love New York City. I lived there for a summer in school, and I learned real quick that I could live there, but I'd really rather live here and visit there. So it sounds like that's kind of your thought process there. Where do you like to go eat? You talk about the types of food. You've got a lot of friends in this business. Where do you like to go eat when you're not eating at your own place?
Well, it's tough to say because one time somebody asked me that, and then I said it, and then I 3 or 4 restaurateurs like, "Oh, you didn't mention my business." I'm like, so that was kind of funny. But
That's always a tough question for people, I know.
But you know what? Then I say places that I really like is like Thai House. Thai House is great, you know. Corner 21, I like it. The Indian place on Republic Road, I forgot the name now, is really good too. And then, of course, Char, Metro, Retro Metro, Avanzare, Shenzhen. I want to make sure I don't forget anybody.
I know, and don't feel like you have to. And please, in the audience, you know full well. I just put him on the spot here, so give him a break. But so, like, if you do you eat out often, or maybe a little bit more often now that you don't have the 2 restaurants to run back and forth between? You've only got the one. Maybe you have a little more time.
Well, it's actually kind of the opposite, because now we never really eat at home that much before, because you know the restaurant. I was always in the restaurant, so now there is more often than my wife's like, let's go home and eat something and sit on the back porch.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, that sounds so wonderful, you know, just beautiful. And we do a lot of dinner with friends, you know. Sunday is always Sunday fun day, you know, but a lot of time around like 5 o'clock, you know, I text somebody or they text me, it's like, hey, let's have dinner, or so we maybe go somewhere, or we just go to their house, sit on the back porch, or mine or there, or good bottle of wine, and, you know, enjoy life, and realizing how many years I had people happy by cooking to them. And now I'm like, now it's my turn now to just relax and just have a dinner without worry about, oh, the table missing the silverware. Or believe me, I do it when I go to other restaurants now. You know, I can be in Chicago or in Las Vegas, and if I see a customer that is looking for a server, and my wife's like, "Honey, you're not working." But I'm like, "Hey, that table needs you." And she's like, "Seriously?" I'm like, "Sorry."
It's just one of those things that's in your blood. You spot it, you see it, and I completely get that. You know, when I do look around and I see like the Chiefs logo and the Missouri State Bears, and I think, what is tailgating like for you? I'm going to just say, I'm never going to watch another Chiefs game that I don't wonder if you're out there tailgating and what on earth food you bring between, like, you. I see a photo over there of you. There's Andy Kuntz from Andy's Frozen Custard. Holy buckets. Who else is in that picture?
And the guy in the middle is Mike Jalili.
Is that Jalili in the middle? He's got his sunglasses on. I couldn't tell. Yeah. Well, now see, now you've got, I'm going to have to sniff out that tailgate party at some point. What's your perfect tailgate food for game day?
Well, first of all, the tailgate was actually started by from Andy Kuntz. I think it was Andy Kuntz and Ed Powell maybe, and I know Stephen King. I think they are the 3 that started that tailgate. Not sure 100%, but I know Andy and we started to go with them, and once in a while, he let me bring some food, because they are so organized. I mean, it's unbelievable. They usually serve like 12 courses. I mean, you know, we start, example, when they start, they do a charcuterie board. Then they start maybe with some shrimp. Then they start with some sausage. Then they do some lobster, some tuna. Then Stephen King always bring the tomahawk, and they're like a 64-ounce big steak with the bone.
And this is Stephen. Who is this Stephen that you're talking about?
Stephen King. He owns the dry cleaning Vogue here on. Just down here on Sunshine.
The dry cleaning place. Okay, so it's not because I don't know this. I don't know this name in the culinary world, but you mention him. Okay.
No, Stephen King is not the culinary. He owns a dry cleaning.
But he's damn good with the tomahawk.
Oh, very good. It's very good. Then sometimes they do the fish boil, and he does, you name it. Sometimes he does the old fish, he does rack of lamb. But it's unbelievable what they're doing. A lot of wine and spectacular. And then in the last few years, they also had Chip Woodall. Then he's also part of their tailgate crew, So it's spectacular. I'm really lucky that once in a while I get invited there and do it with them.
Oh my gosh. I do see photos online and it has crossed my mind. And I think, oh my God, you can get these people together ever. And I would love to be in the middle of that. But imagine what it must be like on a game day. I can't imagine a tomahawk and shrimp and a lobster. Man, you guys know how to do it. You have made and you nailed it when you made that sort of analogy about the boat. But you have made some friends in this town who are family to you. I can just tell.
Well, in the end of the story, you get what you put in. There's nothing to do. If you treat people with respect, you get respect back. And I always tell everybody, your family is very important, but your friends, they are maybe even more important than your family. Now, don't get confused with what I'm saying. Of course, your family is very important, but your friend is what you really choose. And they can really change the direction of your life. I always tell every young kids, surround yourself with the right crowd, because you're going to get molded by them. If you surround yourself with good people, you successful people or hard worker people or whatever you surround yourself to, is that what you're going to be one day. There is a very higher chance for you to be like them versus somebody else.
Right. I have heard the saying over the years, your friends are your future. And I think there's a lot to that. And I think it's important to surround yourself with people who make you better. Because I think that just makes everybody better. But you nailed it. And you're very blessed to have a beautiful family. You have another son also, Tommaso. Mm-hmm. I'm not missing anybody, am I?
No, but plus, like we were saying, your friend can mold you, mm-hmm. but it's also your responsibility to mold them if they're out of whack. If they're not in the right direction, it's your job to turn it to be. You know what I mean? If you see that they drink too much or they don't go to work because they get lazy, if you're a true friend, you need to get involved in the right direction too. You know what I mean?
I do know exactly what you mean. Well, I have truly enjoyed this conversation. And
now,
one thing
you were asking me about Tommaso.
Tell me about Tommaso.
So Tommaso actually he works in Switzerland, and
He's in Switzerland now? Isn't he like 6 years old?
No, Tommaso is 22 years old now.
See, that's what I know. I know he is. I know he's old enough to be in Switzerland, but it just seems like he shouldn't be because, wow. Okay, so what's he doing in Switzerland? That's a beautiful country, by the way. I've been there. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah, he works in Switzerland. He works up in the mountain as a pizza chef.
Really?
Yeah, and I think after here he wants to go in Japan. That's what he said he would like to do. So that might be his next steps. So let's see.
Is he wanting to go the chef route also?
Yes. I think eventually he would like to open something in Europe.
Wow.
So let's see what's going on that. That's going to be another adventure.
Life is just one adventure after the next. Do you see another Maso location maybe at some point? You sort of alluded to that.
Yes, actually. But now after I need to open the space next door and get it running. We are considering opening for lunch here. Not every day, but at least maybe like 4 days a week. Because we have a lot of requests and opening up the space next door, it might also bring some luncheon, like group of people. It will also allow my kitchen crew to come here, work in the morning, and get everything ready for the evening. So if it's not busy, I have a crew here that can work and get a prep done. But I really think the lunch is a big opportunity, more than 15, 20 years ago. I think Springfield has grown a lot. I mean, I remember when I first moved here, Sunshine was a field. South Campbell was a field with the library is and all the area. It's unbelievable how it grew.
It is.
I don't know many people there now versus 30 years ago, but I would not be surprised if they almost doubled. Do you know the numbers?
I don't know the numbers off the top, because I know Christian County, I believe, was the fastest growing county in Missouri for many years. It may still be. I don't really know. But if you think about the 65 corridor between Branson and Springfield, it's amazing.
Yeah, I remember when my wife was telling me Springfield will touch Nixa, and Nixa will touch Branson eventually. And my gosh, it's getting there. So.
It really is, and you've seen a lot of change since you've been here. And, on behalf of all the people that you've made so happy, you have helped us celebrate birthdays and anniversaries and graduations and all of the things that we always celebrate with food, and it's even more fun when you celebrate with somebody you know or feel like you know and respect. And, you're that person in so many ways. There are lots of people like that, but you have done a lot for this community, and the community's done a lot for you, but you've done a lot for it too. And is there anything else you want to tell us about? Anything else you want to cover before we wrap this up?
Well, you're the one that asked question.
I know.
I'm just answering question to you, but it's the only thing that I want to remind everybody is don't forget to support. I know that a lot of people do a lot of shopping online right now. Can be for a shirt or for a pair of shoes or whatever it is, but don't forget to support your locally owned business. It's very important. There is a little example up where my father was born, and there is about maybe like 45 people that live in the little town. It's up in the mountain.
Wow.
And they have this little grocery store. And of course, everybody started to drive 20 minutes to go buy grocery on the biggest store, And I remember then they had a meeting one time because the little place wanted to close because nobody was shopping there anymore. And I remember that somebody said, if we make this place go out of business, what if at 11 o'clock at night you have a headache and you need to go buy an ibuprofen? Or what if you have a baby and you need to go buy a baby food? Or what if you're out of toilet paper? If we don't support this little business all year long, it will go out of business, then we don't have it anymore. So everybody, they got together now. The place still alive. Everybody shop there. I don't expect you to go there and spend the $300 on a shopping spree, but still go there and buy the bread, buy the essential there. If everybody does it, it's still there, And the same thing is for restaurant. If you don't support the restaurant, we cannot support your non-profit organization. When you have your birthday, if you don't support the business all year long, like the other day, somebody's like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe you sold Nicola's. It's my favorite restaurant. I go there once a year for my birthday." And I'm like, "Okay, buddy, I appreciate and I love you, but that doesn't keep a business in business,
Words to live by, for sure. We all need to support local, and we're so happy to have you local. Nicola Gilardi, thank you so much for joining me on the 100th episode of Savor the Ozarks. I've been trying to chase you down for a long time and get this interview, and I'm glad that this was the one that worked out. And anyway, thanks so much for all you do.
Hey, thank you, and I want to take the opportunity to thank Springfield for everything everybody always did for me and my family and for my employee. You know, it doesn't matter if you own a business but you don't have the support, you know. But remember, support your locally owned business, and thank you and God bless you.
Be sure to go to AroundTheOzarks.com to sign up for our daily newsletter where you can get every episode of Savor the Ozarks, plus all our other podcasts, events, and contests straight to your inbox. And what are your favorite dishes in the 417? Do you have any restaurants you'd like me to visit? Email me at joy@AroundTheOzarks.com.